What's good, YouTube? It's Moss2Chappy, and we're back today looking at a Madden 13 gameplay against none other than Mr. AdiCards. That's right, folks. Yep, it's Egbert. This is game 5 of the Goon Squad member AdiCards, and today I'm using the Bears. He's using the Seahawks. This is a $10 money game using that Just Read offensive scheme / ebook. J Rose, baby, or J Read, whatever you want to call it. But definitely is gonna shape up to be a good game. Great game. You guys know how me and Addy's games are. It always comes down to the wire. It always comes down to the last play, the last possession, everything like that. And definitely drop a like right now. I promise you, get your popcorn. You're going to want to watch this video 2 or 3 times because it is so freaking epically good. Such a great gameplay. So definitely do that. And if you have not checked out AdiCards' channel, be sure to do that as well. There will be a link in the description. He does a lot of Madden content as well as some FIFA here and there. If you haven't heard of him before, I'm not sure how, but hey, do that, check him out, and he's got some good stuff. Right here, major right, just a little bit slow getting to the ball, and he gets the first down. Huge play for him. This game, he tended to run a lot of read options and a lot of FL screen type plays, and you know, they definitely worked out well for him. So I mean, definitely no complaints here, man. He definitely, you know, did his thing offensively and defensively. Him being AdiCards, always a good player, so it's just going to be a tough game. But what I wanted to really talk about in this video is clutch factor and clutch gene, whatever you want to call it, in video games. Now, I know you're going to probably be very optimistic about this and, you know, not take it to heart at all, and you're just going to be like, there's really no clutch factor in video games. You're just playing a video game. I understand it. But there is clutch factor. Now, first I'm going to talk about 2K because there's a rating called clutch rating, clutch factor, whatever, in the game of 2K basketball. And in that game, basically, if you've got a player like Kobe Bryant who has a very, very high clutch rating, if you take like a contested shot or a bad shot at the end of the game, in the 4th quarter towards the end, when, you know, it's a clutch moment, basically, most of the time they're going to make it, unless it gets blocked or something like that. But just due to the rating, even though it's a bad shot, you might not even get a perfect release, but you're probably going to make that shot. There's just a lot higher chance of you making that shot. You would probably miss the shot 9 out of 10 times in the 3rd quarter, but in the 4th quarter, you might make it 6 out of 10 times or something like that. So definitely the clutch rating is real. Now, Madden also has some players that have clutch ratings. It's not too many, but there is a few, like Frank Gore. He drops the ball less. You know, some of the quarterbacks, they have the clutch rating, and your wide receivers catching to go up 1 or 2 points or something like that. But for the most part in Madden, it's more about the player yourself and how you execute and things like that. And the reason this is important, because a lot of games against 2 guys that are very close, good players and things like that, will come down to the clutch factor, clutch rating, whatever you guys want to name it. Let's just call it clutch. Who has more clutch? Now, there's a lot of different types of clutch. You got offensive clutch, defensive, special teams, and just overall clutch. Now, clutch can be throughout the course of the game, but primarily what I'm talking about is the last moments in the 4th and the last moments in the just before halftime, because usually those are what's going to separate 2 players that are pretty evenly matched throughout the course of the game. And that's what it's going to come down to, you know, who can get the touchdown, who can hold the other to a field goal, who can, you know, get the field goal, who can stop them from scoring a field goal at all, etc., in those final situations, in those moments like that. And that's typically what's going to be the difference between winning and losing a lot of very close games. Now, there is things you can do to improve your clutch factor or whatever. And a lot of it is practice, repetition, knowing what you're going to do. And because clutch really just comes down to how well you can execute under pressure. Now, what you can do to improve under pressure is obviously, again, practice. But you have to practice how you want to play, too. You can't just practice lackadaisical. If you really want to be clutch, you really have to practice as you would in a game, and, you know, prep yourself. Just get the muscle memory. Muscle memory is huge, and one example I'll use is for kicking field goals and things like that. For instance, here we are, we get a huge interception, Mr. Moore on the 4th and 12, but kicking is one of those things. You know, there's been a lot of games that have won and lost off of missed kicks or made kicks over the course of Madden history. Just a ton, nameless games. Now, one thing guys will do to miss them is maybe they'll push the arrow up, or they won't push the arrow down, or something like that. Whereas if you always practice pushing the arrow down when you kick, You know, when you get that 55-yarder in the end of the game, perhaps if you didn't practice like that and always put your kick down, you might forget. And that 56-yarder with Janikowski, that should be very makeable in good conditions. He kicks it short because, you know, you even got full power. You got full power, but you didn't push the arrow down. And it's just those little details, those small details, that are the difference between winning and losing. And right here, oh my gosh, the game got real laggy. I'm not sure what the heck Frenchie was doing on a computer, but he was doing something lagging the game up. So we paused it, started it up, and after that pause, he got a huge play on 4th down. No! So right here it's coming down to, again, that one of those final drives. And basically, if I score, I'm going to win. If I don't, I'm going to lose, and I need a touchdown. So that's what it's going to come down to. Now, you have to have that in the back of your head, but at the same time, you can't overthink it, because if you do, that's probably going to lead to you making a mistake, and that's going to be ball game. So, you know, you have to understand the situation, but at the same time, don't overthink it in those clutch moments, and really just play your game, execute as best as you can. All you can do is give yourself the best opportunity that you can. You really can't control if something fluke-gazy happens, something crazy happens, something wild. But if you give yourself the best opportunity, you're going to be good to go. Now let's go ahead and dive into this gameplay. Addy sends the A-gap at me and gets in there, gets a huge sack. And now it's basically going to come down to these final few plays. He gets a sack here. So basically we have 2 plays left to make it happen. And we throw it up to Mr. Davis. 6-7 in the end zone. Precision. Let's go, baby. Yes. Davis holds on to it. He's not known for catching the ball, but hey, he was put in the right position to get the catch, and he holds on to it. So we're able to get that, and that should lead to the victory, folks. And again, I mean, it comes down to those clutch moments. You may call it luck, you may see that or this or that or whatever, but at the end of the day, you're not going to win 8 games, luckily, you know, just based off luck in a row. And you're also not going to beat a really good player if you're a really bad player, even if you're very lucky. You know, it's really going to come down to how well you can execute. Problem is considered the greatest of all time, and one of them being because he's probably one of the clutchest players of all time when it comes to Madden. So really, if you can have that clutch gene, definitely something you're going to want to work on. It's definitely something that could take your game to the next level. And I hope you guys enjoyed this, man. This game 5 was crazy. Let's try to get 200 likes and subscribe for more. It's your boy. We gone.